Today my recovery is pretty mid, and that's just because my strain was so high doing the Innsbruck ring in KOM yesterday, and I had about 5 hours less because I'm doing an earlier time slot today. It's Saturday, we're doing the Alp, looking at hour 45. Wait, hold on. Yeah, looking at about an hour and 45 for this whole route. Accelerate to elevate, or a modification of that for the FRR tour. Gonna try to make up some time, and today is a great day to make up a lot of time or lose a lot of time, and I can't afford to lose a lot of time, so I need a solid warm-up, and I need to warm up, so let's do it. All right, boys, let's do this. We got to get to the Alp before we can climb the Alp.
I've put a fair amount of thought every day into the wheel set that I'm going to use for each stage. You cannot choose a bike frame, you can only choose a wheel set. So for this one, I went with the Cadex 36 wheel set. Nice, lightweight, not very aero at all. And I'm going to be honest, that was a big hindrance in the flat portion of this stage. Now, granted, the fatigue of the previous 4 stages is really starting to add up. I'm feeling very tired, but I'm also working way harder than I ever have before, considering it was such a flat stage. In addition to that, the 4 sprint segments I was not thinking about because I'm not contending for a sprint jersey. And I didn't think that, oh, everyone else is not going to go for it, only the sprinters. No, actually, everyone's going for every sprint segment except for me. And I continually was doing sprints, but it was to catch up to everybody after the segment. And it was really foolish. And I didn't have an aero wheel set. So just, the whole world was against me on this one. And again, the compounding fatigue. This is now stage 5. I'm really only thinking about the Alp. My record time for it, I believe off the top of my head, is about 58 minutes and some change. And I have that in my head. I had this in my head yesterday with the Innsbruck KOM. And it wasn't until the base of the Alp I realized how much pain I was actually in. And the entire way up, I could not generate power out of my legs. I was in a terrible headspace. I think a lot of people would agree that the Alp is really a mental battle. Because it's about an hour long. If you can do it in like sub 1 hour, that's fantastic. I've done it once out of the, I think this is now the 4th, maybe 5th time I've done the Alp ever, and started out decent and started to fade pretty quick. I could not keep a steady cadence. I could not keep a steady power. I could not stay up with any one rider for more than a minute or two, and I would just drop off. And again, I've had an uphill battle all week, just being ill, throwing away a couple stages, and it really hit me. It was a really big bonk on this one. One thing to note, I totally bombed on nutrition as well. This was I mentioned earlier, I got like 5 hours less of recovery. That's because I chose an earlier time slot. It's now a Saturday, so I went at 2:30 p.m., I don't know what happened, but I messed up my nutrition, and I ate way too early. I was thinking it was at 12:30, so I'm eating at like 11 a.m., and I was like, oh, shoot. And then I didn't eat anything really substantial until after the fact, and I depended on not 1 but 2 bottles of ketones. And so with a pretty much empty stomach, I ended the night throwing up. So not pretty, a terrible time on the Alp. Not that I've ever had a good time on the Alp, but I've never had times where I stopped on multiple occasions. I never got off the bike, but again, I was not in the right headspace, could not get into the right headspace, could not generate substantial power or significant power, could not hold a cadence, just totally bombed on the Alp. And I was hoping to just be average. I was hoping to have a mid-pack finish and not bleed too much time. And unfortunately, when it was all said and done, I finished the Alp in about an hour and 15 minutes, which I'm quite embarrassed by. I didn't anticipate to necessarily hammer the Alp, but I'm not proud of this attempt at all. Super demoralizing. And again, like, I don't think I've ever had it where I just bonked so bad and stopped so many times. And actually, at one point, the trainer just disconnected right there, and it was like, oh wow, like everything's just like quitting on me. My legs, I just had nothing. So again, bled a lot of time on this stage. Not happy with the results. So yeah, a brutal time. And again, it's never an easy. It's the Alpe. It's the Alpe for a reason. It is the king stage in this tour for a good reason. It is such a tremendous challenge, and I like that about it. Not my day. It's a crazy course, actually. A long lead-in. It's nice that you're not really in the jungle. The Alpe is no easy feat, and it doesn't end at the top. Ends a little bit afterwards. I don't have much to say on that one. That was not even a little bit fun. Again, bled a good deal of time, sitting in the GC 157 overall. I'm solid 52 minutes, 37 seconds behind. But guys, appreciate you watching. I do appreciate the support. Got one more stage and then the rest day, which I'm greatly looking forward to.